sorry the type is so small, but I didn't expect the screen to be so small. My name is Suzanne Maher. I'm originally from Ireland. I've been here 13 years and I still cannot pronounce my THs. I don't really know why. But I'm an expert in joint mechanics and in preclinical testing. And I help to direct a couple of different groups at an orthopedic hospital for special surgery, where we treat a variety of different orthopedic problems. And I'm here today to talk to you about my experiences with ELab. So ELab is an entrepreneurship lab. It's a lab that teaches you how to go from being a scientist, and most of you are probably very successful scientists, to an entrepreneur. And that's what I want to share with you today. So Hospital for Special Surgery, in the words of Brian Williams, who just had his knee replaced there, is the place where everyone ends up eventually. So in the 13 years that I've worked at Hospital for Special Surgery, in the last 10 years I started working with Russ Warren, who's an orthopedic surgeon. He's our former surgeon-in-chief. He's the chief of the sports medicine service. He's an entrepreneur. And for you football fans, he's the New York Giants doctor, even though the Giants are doing so well at the moment. And Russ had a problem. He had a lot of patients that were presenting with articular cartilage defects. Cartilage covers the surfaces of your joints. Those defects were in the shoulder, the knee, and the ankle, and they're painful and debilitating for people. And the problem was they weren't being treated properly, so the damage was spreading to involve the whole joint. And Russ said, why can't we treat these darn things early and stop the damage from spreading? So I started to do a review to see what was out there. And people pick through the underlying bone, they use grafts that they stick in, they do this ACI procedure where they take the patient's own cells, roll them up in the lab and re-inject them in, and then degradable scaffolds are being used as well. But the problem was all of these techniques relied on biology. So we put our heads together and we came up with a different approach. And our idea was to develop a non-degradable, completely synthetic implant for cartilage. The idea being you have a solid core to carry load. These are in your joints that see high loads. A porous edge to help the host tissue to integrate. And then a bony base so that the bone can go in and help to hold the implant in place. So here we were with a clinical need for our surgeons. A great idea. We weren't going to go the biological route. We were going to go this non-degradable synthetic route. And over the years, we generated tons of lab data. We did tissue cultures, we did mechanical testing, we did animal model data. And at the end of it, our surgeon, another surgeon, said, we want to use this in our patients. So how do we get from this concept, this clinical need, all the way through to turning back to our surgeons and saying, now you can use this in your patients? And that was when we turned to ELab. So in the next couple of minutes, I want to tell you what I learned from ELab and how it helped us get from an idea closer to this thing being used in the clinic. So I just want to talk to you about what I learned from ELab. It taught me that there are resources for people like me, scientists, trying to translate an idea to clinical use all over New York City. Whether it is a library that has specialists that focus on small business, whether it is mentors that are there to help advise you, whether it's funding sources, there's a huge amount of resources in New York City. When it comes to business people, you know, I'm a scientist. I'm not going to be able to take this all the way through to the end without a business partner. So how do you find these business people? They're all over New York City, but I really didn't know how to find them before. So it really showed me how to connect with these various different business groups. And more importantly, when I connected with them, how do I make sure I'm speaking the same language? How do I know that they're just not hearing blah, 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 blah? I want to tell them what they want to hear in a language that they might understand. You know, one of my favorite things that we spoke about was an elevator pitch. You've given a talk like this and you step into the elevator and someone from the business world says, so what do you do? So you've got 10 seconds or 15 seconds to give a review or an overview of what you're doing. So how do you say it in such a way that you grasp their attention? So we go through stuff like that as part of the ELab. Also, there are so many people that have this pipe dream of going from the lab into the bench side. So what differentiates you from all those other people? There's a team of mentors involved in this program that can help identify, you know what, I'd really like to work with you because I find your project very interesting and I can help. But more importantly, because you're part of this program, 9 times out of 10, they're willing to give you advice and help free of charge. Because they want to see if you like them and if they like you, and everybody's looking for the next project. So you come at the end of the project where you know who you might and you might not like to work with. So where are we with our project now? We've partnered with a business consultant. We're putting together a business plan, an FDA consultant to help us with our strategy, a manufacturing company. We've had some IP issued. We just got our second patent issued. And we've milestones for the next 2 years outlined in quite a bit of detail. We've spoken to the NIH. Well, we were speaking to them before last week, and we've located a place for our company to live. So if you're going to take this course, I thought I would give you a few words of advice, having been the soldier that went through it all. So it's a time-consuming course. You're going to hear a lot of new things. You're going to be exposed to a lot of information. And mistakenly, I did not bring my laptop on the first day. Bring your laptop. The information comes at you hard and fast. Speak up and don't panic. You know, it's very much, you're going to meet people who are young faculty, who are finishing their postdocs, who are senior faculty, and really it's a very interactive type of course. I remember one, I think it was a Thursday morning, I was asked to stand up and give a practice pitch, you know, a practice review of my business. I thought to myself, I didn't prepare for this at all. And I stood up and, you know, I went through my talk, and there was a man in the front row, and he ripped me apart. I mean, really, I sat down and I thought to myself, what the heck am I doing here? And I ended up working with the guy. So speak up, you know, and all will be well. Also, I'm not great with names. You're going to meet a lot of people and be exposed to a lot of new names. Keep your business cards. Because what I found was, there's a lot of people that I met, marketing, lawyers, who I don't need some of them right now, but I know as the next 2 or 3 years go on, I will need them. So it's good to keep good records. And finally, this entire course culminates in a presentation that you will give to a room packed with investors, angel investors, VCs. So all that you learn is almost back up to your final presentation. And with that, I would like to say, I'll be around for a few minutes if anyone else would like to talk to investors, but if you do decide to embark on this endeavor, good luck, it's pretty exciting.